Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the MJ Show. I'm your host Mihir Joshi, and I am super excited to known, loved, and respected tremendously for a very long time, who's joining me on the MJ Show today. You guys love his music too, so ladies and gentlemen, without any delay, welcome on the MJ Show, my dear friend Raghu Dixit, whose computer is what we are seeing right now. We're seeing a screen with work that he's doing, proof that there is new music being made. Now he's turning the camera around, turn it around, Raghu.
I don't know how to do this. Okay.
There you go. You got it. Welcome, my friend. Welcome to the MJ Show once again.
Thank you so much. This is the second time we're doing this.
Yes, we are.
Completely different environment, rather.
Completely different. In fact, even the first time we did it was very different compared to any other interview that we had done. Because I remember you were performing live in Mumbai somewhere, and we sat in that backstage area under the sun, nice, bright and shiny, no lights, anything, and we did an episode over there. I don't remember. Was it in Mehboob Studio or something like that?
I have no memory of where it was, but I remember it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Sing every positive song. I remember that much.
I know. By the way, folks, all of you watching right now, agar aap logon ne dekha nahi, if you've not seen the earlier time that Raghu was on the MJ Show, go to youtube.com/the MJ Show and look out for his episode. It was fantastic. So a lot of the questions that you may have, like how did he begin and all of that, which I generally do, you'll get your answers in that earlier episode. So right now, we're just going to talk about everything that's happening right now. So Raghu, firstly, it's been almost 22 days since the official lockdown. How have you been coping with it?
Actually, it's an amazing time for me. I am completely enjoying it. And if you want to believe it or not, I have not actually stepped outside the threshold of my main door even once. I've stuck inside my house and inside my studio room here. I'm sleeping a lot, sleeping most of the time actually. And if you were thinking that I was probably still sitting in a studio and making music all the time, no, I'm actually trying to make as less music as possible. I'm using it all for my own self actually, and
recuperation
I'm
time.
Completely enjoying it. Mainly sleep, man. I didn't know there was so much sleep inside me waiting to be satiated.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Today, for example, I woke up only at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, and that's when I messaged Gaurav and say, is Mihir Joshi live today, na? And he also has not responded because he lives in Canada, so he must be awake only now. So that's when at 8 o'clock, in panic, I sent you a message saying, Aajiye na.
Sorted. So by the way, the other thing I'm just telling you is in these Instagram live sessions, there's a little bit of latency, there's a little bit of lag. So I try not to talk while you are talking so that, because otherwise we both won't be able to hear each other, which is why I'm doing a lot of hand gestures. If you're wondering why I'm doing hand gestures, it's just to enable our conversation so that everybody watching right now can hear it. By the way, speaking of making music or a little bit of music or no music at all, it was interesting to see that, you were sitting in front of your computer and there were certain music waveforms on it. So what are you working on currently? Even if it's very little music, what is it that people are, is it a Raghu Dixit song? I mean, for your project, or is it for some film? What's happening right now?
I'm actually learning music because that is something I'd never done. I have not learned music formally any time in my life. So about 3 weeks ago, there's another very, very fantastic musician, Jason Zakaria in Bangalore, who announced online classes for piano. And so I joined for that.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just learning how to make music now formally.
You're saying that after almost over a decade worth of making music, you're saying now you're learning to make music formally. That's insane, man. The internet scene is not all that great apparently right now. Raghu is there's the white circle going on his face right now. Acha, while he reconnects, because I know he will, there you go. He's reconnected now. I think he's turning the camera around. Why don't you guys in the comments below write down the name of your favorite Raghu Dixit song. I'm going to look at the comments in a little while. Now that I've got Raghu Dixit. So Raghu, you had a new
Yeah.
film song just released a little while ago, right? I think about a week or 10 days ago.
No, a movie.
The movie Mocktail.
No, Love Mocktail got released on 31st of Jan.
Okay.
And that did really well. And and for all records' sake, it is my first ever box office successful film.
Nice.
So I've done about 12, 13 films so far in all languages in South India and Hindi. But box office mein, none of the films had worked. So this is my first film where like all the 13 movies of my, the music of all of my earlier 13 films were great hits. But the film had not won. So for me, that was my constant craving that the film that I would do this year should win. So luckily, Love Mocktail became a massive commercial success in Karnataka.
That's awesome. Because I can see so many of your fans commenting right now, telling you how much they love the Love Mocktail songs. Like I can see a whole bunch of comments which have come in just mentioning Love Mocktail and congratulations, sir. And look at that, just the recent comment by this gentleman, Mahesh Shetty. There is Shubha who's congratulated you. There are a whole bunch of your fans. So we will get the fan messages also every now and then. But, I like what somebody just wrote. There's a gentleman called Raya, I am hoping it's a gentleman, Raya Reddy, who has written Ambar. And I just, before we went live, in my Instagram story, I shared a live version of you performing Ambar in the Crypt Sessions, as it was called. I just found that a little while ago, and I love that version. Yep. And I have to tell everybody that I remember I'm one of the lucky guys who actually got to see this CD happen in real time. Like, you remember the first time you and I met was at that place called Dhoop in Bandra. Correct. And OML had done like a special listening session of, like just like some 20 guys in the music industry, like a few radio jockeys, somebody from this magazine, that magazine. And it was just you and a guitar, not the whole band. Yes. And you performed a few songs for us. And then after that, this album was released. And I actually remember when we last met, this is what you wrote for me on it. Okay, guys, check this out. I know you're going to see it ulta, but I'll read it out for you. So he's written, "Dear Mihir, save this copy. It could be worth millions later, a decade from now." That's what he's written over here. Check that out. I love that, man. No, I love that because I know that there aren't too many of these around. There aren't too many copies around. I think you must have made like a limited number of copies. And I don't think you didn't do like a second reprint of it, at least the way this one was done. Because I remember there were two CDs in it. One was the CD here, and then there was a bonus CD at the back which said that, if you like it, pass it on to a friend. So I have both the CDs back in it. I haven't yet passed it on because I couldn't get myself to destroy the packaging in any way. But yeah, it's one of the albums that I had during my radio days. And then the second time we met, you gave me this.
Oh my God.
3 colors, right?
Yes.
So I kept the blue one for myself, and you've written, "Keep up the good job on the MJ show." So this was about 6 or 7 years ago when we met, and you'd signed this for me. So guys, if you don't have these copies, you just felt tremendously jealous, I'm sure, because I know so many of you are Raghu Dixit fans. You got to find yourself a copy of these albums to have it in the physical format, because there's nothing like the joy of owning a physical copy of your favorite artist. But Raghu, you know what? You've had such amazing songs that you put out. I mean, apart from the 13 films that you talked about, the first album itself was monumental in a sense that nobody had heard this kind of a sound in the pop music scene. So for you, when you came out with this album, I mean, I know this is going way back in time. What was in your mind? Like, I remember you telling me that you were almost on the verge of giving up when this album happened to you. But when it did happen and it did work, what was going on in your mind? What was your reaction to the success of the album?
It never kind of came into this situation where it was the hit album. It was never released in a commercial, conventional way. It was sold at our gigs hand to hand. by me and Gaurav. We would put up a table after a concert and spread a towel on the top of it and sell these CDs to fans who would buy it because I promised them a free sweaty hug. So we never really realized its fullest potential of how many sales are going. We didn't keep a track of all such things. Almost after 2 years, when we were about to give our first international interview, there was a question asked by the journalist, what is the statistics of sales of your first album? And that's when Gaurav sat down and got the numbers. And we realized we've hit a figure which was astronomical. We had sold about 75,000 CDs hand to hand at our gigs across 3 years.
Wow.
Just at our gigs, because there was no distribution network for us.
That's amazing.
To have sold that kind of figure, considering none of the record labels even believed my music will sell beyond 2,000, 3,000 maybe max. For us to sell 75,000 was a phenomenal achievement. And then that year after that interview, and of course that performance on BBC London, it went on to become number one on the UK world music charts also. So it was not just in India, but also in the world music scene that the album went on to become number one. So that way, very, 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 very proud of it. But it took some time before it sank into me that we just passed by some history without us knowing we've created history. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And I remember when we last spoke, you also told me about performing at the Jules Holland show.
Correct.
Which was insane, man. No, I don't think even today anybody from India has done that yet, apart from you, to the best of my knowledge. Has there been anyone else?
Not in the independent scene, but a few classical musicians have gone and performed.
Okay.
I think so. But not from the indie scene.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, at least from our peers and our friends in the music space, I mean, all the bands that are around, I don't recall anybody else having done what you've done. And not just that, you performed all across the world. You performed at Glastonbury and so many phenomenal festivals all across the world. So for you, as a live performer, what was that one stage that you really wanted to perform? And when you did perform, how did you feel at the end of it? Like, was it everything that you thought it would be?
Definitely. Every time I performed in any of these festivals that you mentioned, Lama Tree Festival, Latitude Music Festival, Belladrum, then there was Glastonbury, of course. Glastonbury we played twice actually. And the first year we played at the John Peel stage, which was kind of the stage that the next big thing acts are given an opportunity on. And the next time we went and performed, we performed on West Holt stage, which is again the next level altogether. So, and both the times we had like a raging crowd response. I still remember the first time we performed in Glastonbury, the first show we were supposed to perform was on a small bandstand. And the rest of the band got stuck in the slush because there is no transport system for musicians inside the Glastonbury Festival complex, and each stage is about 3-4 kilometers far from each other. And we are completely an unknown band, so we're given this trolley which we are pushing with our instruments and luggage on it. Okay, so me and my manager are walking faster, far ahead, thinking that these guys have already reached, they are already ahead of us. Somehow we missed each other, and I ended up being alone at the stage when my stage time was called for. So I had to borrow the previous band guitarist's guitar, go on stage with no lungi. It was just, I was in my shorts and boots and and a jacket, which was like barely helping me in that cold. And I went and performed for the first time without my gungru, without my lungi. And it was a 45-minute set, but it was the best reviewed gig in the entire Glastonbury review book that gets released last, because it congratulated me for holding a crowd for 45 minutes without any other instrument, without my usual paraphernalia. And it was like what, some 100 crowd to start with, and it became like about 3,000 people at the end of it. For that to happen at a bandstand was an incredible achievement. So for me, that memory is one of the best memories as an artist. That one, and also Lovebox Festival when we performed for the first time. There was just one person in the audience when we started, and it was on a small stage in the big festival. we were like, this was our first ever UK entry concert. And we went on stage and it was raining very badly. And there was just one lady with two kids clinging onto her under an umbrella. And we were wondering, why did we come all the way from India to perform for this one person? But then we started and we had to do whatever we did. And by the end of the first song, I remember, Hey Bhagwan, we were performing. That was the first song we played. And the crowd from the main stage are running towards this small stage. And again, by the end of the show, we had about 2,500 people, which is incredible. So for me, these 2-3 memories in these festivals are completely memorable because it kind of reinforced my confidence in my own music and my band's performance levels, that we are as good as anyone else internationally, and we just need to like push our envelope, spend whatever money it takes to get there. And we did that. We did that continuously till about 2015, actually.
That's amazing, man. Truly inspirational story. And, a lot of your fans are showing you the love for that. It's these years, those years of hard work. And I remember you telling me that back then you had to spend your own money to actually travel to these shows. And even now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's not a lot of, back then also, there was not a lot of money that you were making from these festivals either, right?
Always losing money. All these foreign tours makes me poor by anywhere between 10 to 20 lakhs for sure. Because the travel is on ourselves, stay is on us, food is on us. And the fee that we earn from each of these festivals is far lesser than what we spend being there. But as a musician, for me, I would never ever get to do what I do if I don't put that bold step, and it's okay if I'm not able to buy 60 by 40 real estate in Bangalore, but I will live to tell some amazing stories like what I've just told you. Yeah.
For sure. I mean, it's about investing in yourself and believing that, that's the work that you need to put in so that so many more things will happen. Or otherwise, just like you said, to have great experiences as a musician. Whereas how many other guys can tell a story like you just did about performing at the Glastonbury by yourself for 45 minutes? That was incredible. I had goosebumps while you were saying that, and I'm not kidding you. I just visualized everything that you were saying, and I was seeing it in my head. I was like, man, as a performer, that's like the most amazing thing that you can remember as you spend more time doing your craft. Actually, listen, by the way, a lot of your fans have been asking, can we hear a little bit of some song? So, let's start off with the first album. And can we hear, I'm going to ask you for Ambar, but, I know your fans are asking for other songs as well. So you pick a song.
I'll sing Ambar for you. अंबर पे मिलते हैं कदमों के निशान तेरे ही हर शाम खिड़की पे लिखे कोई उसकी बूंदों से तेरा रखे दो सनम तेरे ही है धड़कन ये मेरे दिल की पूछे रे तेरे दिल से कि सचमुच क्या है दुनिया में अंबर पे मिलते हैं कदमों के निशान तेरी ही हर शाम खिड़की पे लिखे कोई दोस्ती दोस्त तेरे लहरों से सुन ले कभी छिपे है सीपियों में खोल धड़कने आके तू चुन ले कभी ओ पलकों के धागों में बांध के घुंघरू नैनन बिताए मैंने दिन का बिजी रहना मदहोश है मेरा चेहरा जब आओगे तुम तब गाएंगे हम सरगम ये सजे तेरे संग संग इस ख्वाब को सच करके ही जाना रे जब आओगे तुम तब गाएंगे हम सरगम ये सजे तेरे संग संग इस ख्वाब को सच करके ही जाना रे धड़कन मेरे दिल की पूछे रे तेरे दिल से कि सचमुच क्या है दुनिया में अंबर पे मिलते हैं कदमों के निशान तेरी खिड़की पे लिखे कोई उसकी बूंदों से तेरा
My God, that was incredible, and I could see all the love that you've got from all of your fans right now for this performance. By the way, सब लोग जो यहाँ पे देख रहे हैं, everybody watching this song, if you like not just this song, if you like Raghu Dixit, drop a heart in the comments and let him see all the love that you guys have for him. And also, a lot of people have been telling you how much they love all the music that you've made for your Kannada films as well. And a lot of requests coming in saying, sir, something in Kannada. Now, I may not understand it, but for all your thousands of Kannada fans, why don't you tell them something in Kannada? One of the lines, at least in one of from your Kannada films.
Done. Let's go to that first album again.
Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome, man. So, by the way, for everybody watching right now, if you've not seen Raghu perform live, you missed out on a live experience. So, the next time he comes to your city, it doesn't matter where you stay. If he comes to your city to perform live, make me a promise. You'll buy a ticket and go and watch him perform live. Because genuinely, the energy of a live Raghu Dixit show is unparalleled. And I've seen so many performers in India perform live, but I haven't seen the kind of craziness that you get at a Raghu Dixit concert. And he could be playing in Mumbai, and I've seen him performing in Mumbai. But when he sings this song here, it's the sixth song on the second album. You know what I'm talking about, right? How do you pronounce it? Lokada Kalaji? Did I say it right?
Lokada Kalaji.
Lokada Kalaji. I remember every time I've seen him perform this song, whether you speak the language or not, you land up singing this song with him, which is unbelievable to see. He gets the entire crowd singing. And if you are that one person who's not singing it in the crowd, he will spot you and make sure that he gets you to sing, which is amazing, man. You know how much I love watching your live gigs, and it's always so much fun to see it. So for the few people who may not understand the meaning, what does that song mean? What is Lokada Kalaji supposed to mean?
Lokada Kalaji Madtinanti Ningyar Byadantara Madappa Chinti. That's the whole phrase.
Correct.
Which means don't worry, be happy. But if you want to worry, I don't give a damn. That's what it means.
Man, I love that, man. It's always so much fun to see you picking on people in the crowd also. That's like the most entertaining thing to see when I'm seeing you perform. But now tell me one thing. Did this lockdown period affect any gigs? Were there gigs planned and did they have to get postponed?
Most of them were like big concerts, so they can't be postponed. So they were cancelled. It was a huge loss, both in terms of me being on stage. For me, that's like a necessity. You know, I mean, I survive, I thrive, I completely be one with myself being on stage. So for me, not being on stage is like really crippling for me mentally and physically both. On the other hand is the fact that all my musicians who play with me play only with my band, so they don't really play with any other band or do sessions for others, or even for that matter, they don't even work in film industry. So for me, I'm now constantly worried about their well-being because they're not earning anything at all. So Joe and Naveen have started taking online classes, music classes, so that they can kind of eke through these tough months. But apart from that, I mean, I can only help them financially, but I know for them, they're also feeling very, uneasy about just taking money from me. They've never ever been that kind of musicians or people who would just say, "Hey, Raghu, thoda paisa hai to dena" type, you know. They've never ever done that. They've always been extremely kind and very nice people. So for me, my constant worries has been, what are these four guys going to do without us performing on stage? So yeah, I'm quite worried about them all the time.
Wow, man. I just realized when you said it like this, that there are so many musicians right now, especially the guys who play sessions, who depend, well, not your guys, but, even the other guys who play sessions with various, say, Bollywood guys or whatever. It must be very difficult for them right now because, not having any idea as to when the next paycheck is going to come. For anybody is a scary thing, but especially for musicians. So, you know what? Let's do one thing. Once this live chat gets over, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to find out. I'll get links to the both of their live sessions where they are teaching. And by the way, this interview stays on Instagram Live only for 24 hours, but we download it and it'll be up on the YouTube channel of the MJ Show. So go and watch it there in case you want to tell your friends who did not catch it live or missed out something. They can watch it tomorrow on the MJ Show channel. And in the info section, I'm going to give you a link to Raghu Dixit's YouTube channel. So you must go and subscribe to that. But I'll also give you links to Naveen and Joe, you said, right? They are taking classes, right?
Yeah, Naveen, Joe, and even Naresh has started taking classes, bass classes online.
And they're doing it on their Facebook pages?
Yeah. On their Instagram pages, mainly.
On their Instagram pages. So I'm going to give you Instagram handles to every band member from Raghu Dixit's page, Raghu Dixit's band. Please follow them. And if you want to take classes, it's the best time for you to learn. Anyway, you are sitting at home doing nothing, and you're going to get some of the best musicians in the country to teach you one-on-one. And that's an opportunity that you should not miss. So I'm going to give you all of their links in the info section tomorrow. Make sure you check them out. And if you get a chance to learn from them, please take up that chance. Raghu, what's happening with you with the film world? Like you said, your last film was
Oh
Love.
yeah, that was great, and I have 7 more movies this year.
7?
Releasing. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
that's yeah. So there's no dearth for work in terms of film work is concerned. But what is more exciting is the third album, which is almost ready now, and I hope my engineer can sneak out sometime and land in my studio and stay here for the next 20 days. Now that the lockdown is extended till the 3rd of May. So I hope he comes here and we start mixing the album. My final vocals is not recorded. That's the only thing pending now. Everything else has been recorded, and we are almost there to. So the idea is to like kind of release one song a month for starting from mid-year this year, and then go on releasing one song every month for the next 10 months. And each song is in 4 different languages: Hindi, Kannada, Telugu, and Tamil.
Wow.
So there's like 40 songs in the next album.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
That is fantastic stuff. And they'll all be released digitally. No, I'm assuming no physical release this time.
Yeah, there is actually the whole physical idea is gone unless we can kind of figure out a way to sell pen drives at our concerts like a I think it's more like a memorabilia than a CD as such anymore, because there are no more CD players and then people listen to only online versions of it. Maybe an MP3, put it in a pen drive could sell better, because that's what we did with our previous movie soundtrack, and that did really well.
Nice. So, you definitely should do that. But, a few months ago, I met up with this gentleman who actually got in touch with the record label which owned the rights to Colonial Cousins Unplugged. And he made an LP of that and released like only 300 copies of that.
Yeah, so that's another option of doing that we will also kind of take the first 2 albums and also make LPs out of it. Yeah, so first 2 albums, and along with that the third album, we put it out as LPs and sell it online through our website and our merchandise store, which is also getting ready now. So we're going to soon sell Raghu Dixit lungis, and we're going to sell Raghu Dixit kurtas and t-shirts also, with guitar belts, the way we make guitar belts. So yeah.
Right. And your trademark ghungroos as well?
Yeah, I mean, ghungroos are available anywhere, so you don't
but
really
like,
have a
put the Raghu Dixit name on it, no? Then there'll be Raghu Dixit.
I mean, okay, ठीक है, अभी advice दे दिया तो ले लेंगे हम.
Achha, so many fans of yours have been saying that could you sing something from Love Mocktail? They've all loved your music in that. Okay. Maybe a little bit of something from that. By the way, before you start singing, let me recognize some of these guys. We've got Abha Hanjura, who's a fantastic singer who's joined us. There is A.M. Gowda, there is Praveen Kumar. There was a guy called Rahul somewhere in this conversation who desperately wanted you to say his name. Just say the word Rahul and he'll be like orgasming till tomorrow.
Hi Rahul. I think there is a gang war going on between 2 people there, Rahul and Shivani, I think.
Yeah, I saw that. Shivani and Rahul are like...
Hi to Rahul, both of you.
All right, there you go. And you got Ravi who's come, and R. Bharadwaj, Aman. By the way, everybody who's joined us right now, thank you so much. There is so much great content happening right now live on Instagram. The fact that you could leave all of that and be here with us means a lot to me, and I'm sure to Raghu as well. So thank you very much for joining us here live. And now for all of you who are fans of Raghu's music, something from Love Mocktails coming your way.
Just give me a second. I'm just kind of pulling out the lyric sheet of that song.
So while he's doing that, once again, let me tell you, go to youtube.com/The MJ Show. Subscribe to that, because not just Raghu's interview today, I've been doing interviews all of last week and the week before that. I've got guests lined up all the way until the 4th of May, at least for now. I might add more people to that. And we've got some great conversations that are going to be happening. Subscribe to the channel, but more importantly, also subscribe to the Raghu Dixit project. I cannot believe that YouTube channel has not got like 1 million subscribers yet. Make that happen very, very soon. Let's get him.
That's because you're telling the wrong name of the channel.
Am I?
It's just Raghu. Yeah, it's just Raghu Dixit Music.
But I meant to say the band. But Raghu Dixit, you just put up a thing which I just saw it right now. 1 minute. My computer is also right behind me. You got about, where did it go? Where did it go? Okay, I've opened it up and we've got Dixit Music. Raghu Dixit Music is the name of the channel, like he said. And I'm going to give you a link to that, like I told you. It's got 122,000 subscribers. I want you guys, everybody watching right now, all of his fans to ensure that before this year ends, that 122,000 goes to 1 million subscribers. That's what I meant to say.
Correct. Much needed.
What have you done?
Sorry, I just realized my phone is running out of battery, so I connected it to a power source.
Now let's hear a song from Love Mocktail.
Yes, sir. Give me a second. Okay. Yes. Are we ready?
Riya, sing 1 minute. Do not cut your hand. I have taken it to mind of Raghu hasn't, but recognized on this chat. Okay, good girl. You got some rabid fans.
Kanna Haniyondhu Kannale Togi Yeke Higondu Bhara Yedri Lage Sanna Sanne Needade Nuvu Tumbi Turide Vidhiye Avudi Hane Varaha Kanna Haniyondhu Kannale Tugi Yeke Higondu Bhara Yedeyolage ಚಿಗುರೊಡೆದ ಪ್ರೀತಿಗೆ ಹಾಲೆರೆದ ರೀತಿಗೆ ಕುಡಿಯೊಡೆಸಿ ಚಿವುಟಿದೆ ಸೋಂಕಿರುವ ಕಾಲವೇ ತಡ ಮಾಡು ನಿನ್ನನೆ ಚಿಗುತ್ತಿರಲು ಇನ್ನೂ ಕನಸಿವೆ ಆಸೆಯೂ ತೀರದೆ ಆಸರೆ ಕಾಣದೆ ದಿನಗಳು ಸಾಗದೆ ನಿಂತಲೇ ನಿಂತಿದೆ ಕಾಣದ ಕಡಲಿಗೆ ಕನಸಿಗೂ ಜಾರಿವೆ ಕಣ್ಣ ಹನಿಯೊಂದು ಕಣ್ಣಲೇ ತೂಗಿ ಏಕೆ ಹೀಗೊಂದು ಭಾರ ಎದೆಯೊಳಗೆ ಸಣ್ಣ ಸನ್ನೆ ನೀಡದೆ ನೋವು ತುಂಬಿ ತೂರಿದೆ ವಿಧಿಯಾವುದಿ ಹಣೆ ಬರಹ
Please tell everybody the name of the song, the fans of yours who do not know the name of the song.
Yeah, the name of the song is called Kanna Haniyondhu, means a teardrop.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. So you know what, boys and girls, folks who do not follow the film industry down south but who still love Raghu, I'm going to give you a link to this song also in the info section tomorrow and a few other songs. I'm going to sit with Raghu after this interview is done. I'm going to look at some of the songs from his earlier films that you may not have heard. We'll find the links on YouTube and I'll give you like a nice little sort of playlist of Raghu's songs in the info section and you should listen to all of them. Of course, you probably heard all of his songs from his first 2 albums. You just heard right now his 3rd album is also on the way. So you know what? Once again, I want to tell you, by the way, Raghu, I don't know if you realize, we've spoken for almost 40 minutes right now. I didn't even realize how quickly the time passed. And it's always such a joy to talk to you, and it's so much fun to always talk to you. But before we wrap up for the day, before we close today's chat, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what they can expect once the lockdown is over from you and what they should be doing right now? Because I know you've been giving this message on your social media, but once again, before we wrap up for today, just tell all your fans what they need to be doing right now.
Well, I mean, it's been told several times by everybody. I think the need of the hour is to stay safe and stay at home and not venture out no matter what. Only that can flatten the curve, and we all need to really respect this decision taken by the government to, stay in lockdown till May 3rd. I think that's the least we can do. And then secondly, definitely be available for help if anybody needs, especially the old and the young, or the injured or the sick. Yeah. So please be available for that. Soon after the lockdown, though, I think people will be dying to meet their family, dying to just get together and have fun. So do that as much as you want. But till then, just hang in there. And well, a lot of people have asked, saying it's very boring to stay alone and not do whatever. They're all bored doing nothing actually, but this is the best time to self-introspect actually, and give that time that you need for yourself, look into your own life and draw some plans for the near future and also the long far ahead future, or learn something new. Like, for example, I've started learning music full time. I'm also reading up a lot of stuff about filmmaking, which I'm very interested in. So I'm writing a couple of new scripts, which I hope to direct in a year or so. So yeah, so there's so much to do actually if you want to, do and spend time with your family, which is like a rare thing these days, especially in the urban scenario. So make the best use of your time, and if there are any broken bonds in your life, then this is the best time to rejoin them and heal and make the best of your time. Actually, really, there's just so many things that you can do.
I can't think of any better advice for all of you guys. Listen to what the man is saying. He's got the best ideas. Learn something, spend time with your loved ones, but most importantly, stay at home. This is very, very important. Take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, be helpful whenever you can. I think Raghu's phone battery has died or something happened. I think he's moved his phone again. But I think, fortunately, I got everything that I was hoping to get today with Raghu. I am obviously, like all of you, I could be greedy and say that he should be around for a longer time. We could have a longer session. But yeah, maybe we'll do that again. Maybe hopefully before the lockdown, we'll have one more chat with. I can see that he's not able to join again. He's just left us in this chat. But do listen to everything that he said. Take care of yourself. Be well. This interview, like I said, will be on the MJ Show YouTube channel tomorrow. Go there, subscribe to it. Subscribe to Raghu Dixit Music. I'll give you a link to that tomorrow in the info section. And a link to all of his band members' Instagram handles. Great time for you to take this opportunity and learn from them, because they're all absolutely stellar musicians. You guys, all of you who've been here, Michael, Vishnu, Harini, Buki, Photo Maze, and Vinay, and Prabhu, and Suru, everybody who is here, thank you very much for being with me. Okay, since here, let me just at least get him to say bye-bye to you guys. He's reconnected right now. And somebody said something funny. He said his phones also die, like the battery dies, which I'm going to tell. There he is. There is Raghu. Good. I'm so happy that you came back to say bye-bye to people before you left. By the way, the funniest thing that somebody wrote was, I can't believe celebrities' phones batteries also go off. Right?
No, I just accidentally dropped my phone down. That's all. And I lost the connections.
But I was telling everybody what you said is absolutely essential. And I was just going to say bye-bye to everyone. I'm glad you are here. Please tell bye-bye to fans. And
thank you so much.
Glad you could be here with me today, Raghu. And I'm also glad that you connected again, because I was going to tell you in person. Thank you so much for the time you spent with me. I enjoyed listening to all.
Thank you.
You know I love you, man.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you.
And take care of yourself. I'll see you soon after the lockdown. Hopefully, we'll meet up in person once all of this is behind us. Yeah?
Yes. God bless you, man. And take care. And give my love to your wife and your child also.
Thank you.
He's turning out to be quite a handsome rock star now.
He is the man. His name is Mihir, and he's the center of my universe. So yeah, thank you so much, brother. Take care. I'll see
Much
you
love to you.
That's pretty much all
See you.
we have for now, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mihir Joshi. That is Raghu Dixit. And we're saying good night.